My husband, Robert Nickel, was killed in action in World War II, defending our democracy, Constitution, and freedoms. One of the freedoms that the Nazis crushed was the freedom to read the books they banned. They stopped the free press, banned and burned books. The freedom to read, which is protected by the First Amendment, is our essential right and duty of our democracy. Even so, it is continually under attack by both the public and private groups who think they hold the truth.
I worry that sort of free speech is losing its grounding on both the right and the left. On the left, we see a lot of people, particularly in a rising generation, who see free speech as kind of a smokescreen for hatred, as just a way of sheltering those who victimize and protecting bigotry, legitimizing bigotry. They've lost a sense of why it is that free speech protections are so fundamental to the movements that they're trying to wage, whether it's for racial justice or gender justice or climate justice. You need free speech protections in order to go to battle on those issues and be able to put forward your perspective, to challenge authority. So that's happening on the left. And then on the right, we see this kind of startling invocation of the means of government, the power of government, legislation to dictate on the basis of viewpoint what can be in a school curriculum, what even can be taught in colleges and universities.
People in recent years, have wanted to have a room for LGBTQ books. And on the surface, that's a great idea. But then you think about this 12-year-old kid trying to find out who they are, having to make the decision to go into that room and announce to whoever is there or to anybody who's with them, or even to themselves, to announce to themselves, this is something I'm interested in finding out about. But I've come to believe that whatever the books are, they just belong with all the other books.
Here in New York City, we found most of these books at the public library, and people are fighting to keep them around in other places too. Illinois just became the first state in the nation to outlaw book bans.
Book bans are about censorship, marginalizing people, marginalizing ideas and facts. Regimes ban books, not democracies.
Some teachers see the growing book bans as a form of political repression and an attack on queer rights and racial justice. In fact, the First Amendment forbids government agencies and officials from restricting speech based on its content or viewpoint. And it says deciding what is and is not protected speech should be left to the courts.
Really, I come back to that notion of a democracy, which is many voices contributing to making the world a better place.
Linda Johnson is president and CEO of the Brooklyn, New York Public Library.
What we ended up doing was issuing a countrywide press release that said if you're between the ages of 13 and 21 and you can't find the material that you want to read on the shelves of your school or your public library, send us an email and we will send you a digital card which will give you access to our digital collection.
In just over a year since it launched Books Unbanned, the library has issued more than 6,200 free digital library cards and circulated over 100,000 books and other items.
On the first day of school, my students walked into our classroom. All of our classroom library shelves were covered over, and in their place was the Books Unbanned QR code.
In some interview, someone said, well, what if all those books had been around when you were a teenager? And I said, well, I think there would have been a lot fewer suicides because people would have been able to discover in the pages of a book somebody like themselves.
Do you still feel that sense of optimism?
100% for me, hope isn't a gift we possess, it's a gift that we practice. It's something that we have to fight for and learn and grow and lean into. So I wake up every day fighting not just for justice, but for my own hope and keeping that flame alive.